All right, fellow sci-fi horror fans, if you've been starving for something that truly gets the Alien franchise, not just as a series of movies, but as a living, breathing nightmare, Alien, Earth is here, and it's here with teeth, acid, and claws. The opening of Episode 1, Neverland, wastes no time in setting a tone that's unmistakably alien. It's 2020, a couple of years before the events of the original 1979 film, and Earth isn't some shining utopia. It's a corporate battlefield carved into territories by 5 mega companies, all chasing immortality. Right from this premise, you can feel that Noah Hawley, the creator, understands one of the franchise's core truths. The alien threat is terrifying, but the human greed that unleashes it is just as dangerous. That's why the setting feels so rich. It's not sterile sci-fi, it's dirty, lived in, morally rotten. Then we jump aboard the deep space research vessel USCSS Magino, and instantly the nostalgia kicks in for longtime fans. Crew waking from hypersleep, sharing banter over a meal, hints of political rivalries between the big corporations. It's a comfortable scene for us viewers, but one that hums with dread if you know the series. Because there's that one word, specimens. And in this universe, specimens means trouble. Hawley doesn't just tell us they're dangerous. He lets us feel it by the way Morrow, the cyborg security officer, treats them as more important than the crew's lives. That's pure Weyland-Yutani thinking, and it's the kind of detail that tells you the show isn't just using the alien name, it's steeped in the franchise's DNA. When containment inevitably fails, the direction is masterful. No cheesy monster dump on screen in the first minute, no over-explaining what's happening, just flickers of movement, the hiss of breath in the dark, doors sealing with crew still on the other side. This restraint is what makes it irresistible for Xenomorph lovers. Hawley gets that the alien's power is in its presence, in the anticipation of seeing it, in how the environment changes the moment it's nearby. The Magino's corridors are lit like nightmares, industrial, claustrophobic, dangerous, and even without a full reveal, you can tell the perfect organism is in play. And then, cut to Earth. Prodigy Corporation's Neverland project looks almost like the opposite of everything we just saw. It's bright, clean, clinical. This is where terminally ill children's consciousness is transferred into synthetic adult bodies. Wendy, our central figure, is the first truly successful hybrid, surrounded by the Lost Boys, other hybrid kids named after Peter Pan characters, and watched over by her synthetic guardian Kirsch. But even here, Hawley keeps tension under the surface. We know what's coming, and the contrast between this carefully controlled paradise and the chaos of the Magino is exactly the kind of juxtaposition that makes the eventual collision so satisfying. That collision comes literally when the Magino crash lands in New Siam, Prodigy's capital city. This is where the show becomes a gift to monster horror fans, because we're not on some distant outpost anymore. We're in the heart of civilization, and whatever was in that cargo hold is now on Earth. The investigation sequences in the wreckage are dripping with atmosphere. Soldiers moving cautiously through dark, steaming corridors, flashlight beams slicing through shadow, the sound design letting you hear just enough to make you strain for more. A parasitic alien, not the main event, but a smaller nightmare, attacks a soldier. It's a warm-up act, and it makes you ache for the real star to arrive. That's how you pace monster horror. You make the audience impatient for the reveal. Episode 1 leaves the alien threat coiled and ready. Then Episode 2, Mr. October, explodes it into action. One scene in particular will be talked about for years. A glittering party for the ultra-rich turned into a slaughterhouse by a xenomorph. It's violent, it's political, it's cathartic. The perfect organism moving through arrogant prey like it's a warm knife through butter. Acid blood sears marble floors, the tail whips with surgical precision, and every movement of the creature is staged like a predator at the height of its game. This isn't fan service. This is fan respect. The creature is lit, shot, and choreographed in ways that make it feel alive and dangerous, not just like a CGI insert. And throughout all of this, I have to stop and just say, the craft here is insane. Noah Hawley has somehow combined the claustrophobic dread of Alien, the militaristic tension of Aliens, and his own surreal thematic depth without ever losing sight of what makes the Xenomorph special. It's not just the kills, it's the way the story bends around the alien's presence. It's the way human arrogance keeps feeding the cycle. And the cinematography, sound design, and pacing are film quality. This is a show that looks and feels like cinema, not TV pretending to be cinema. By the end of the second episode, you realize what Hawley is setting up. The perfect organism loose in a major city. Corporate interests that will inevitably try to capture and exploit it. populations that have no idea how close they are to extinction. It's the kind of setup that promises escalating chaos, and for fans of the Alien and Predator universes, that's a dream scenario. Because the Xenomorph works in any environment, and here it's about to test itself against the densest human hive we've ever seen. Now, stepping back from the breakdown, why is this such a well-made show for Xenomorph, Alien, Predator, and monster horror fans in general? First, it respects the creature. The Xenomorph is treated as an apex predator, not a throwaway antagonist. Its mystery, power, and lethality are kept intact. Second, the pacing is designed for tension, long stretches of dread punctuated by sudden surgical violence. That rhythm is what keeps the fear alive over decades. Third, the world-building adds layers without smothering the horror. Hybrids, corporate rivalries, and new alien life forms are all there to make the human side more complex. But they exist to serve the central terror, not replace it. For Predator fans, there's also something here. The way the Xenomorph is portrayed as a perfect hunter would fit seamlessly into a Predator's trophy case. This series reminds us why the AVP idea was so compelling in the first place, because the alien is worth hunting, worth fearing, worth respecting even by other apex species. And for monster horror lovers as a whole, Alien, Earth delivers on atmosphere, craft, and spectacle without undercutting the fear. It's not about jump scares or gore for gore's sake, though it has both in the right places. It's about building a world where the monster feels inevitable. Ultimately, it's that inevitability that makes this show sing. From the first moment the Magino's crew mentions specimens, to the last shot of the alien in Episode 2, you feel the same thing fans felt in 1979. Once it's here, it's already too late. That's the magic of Alien, and Alien. Earth hasn't just remembered it, it's sharpened it.